I'm a woman of ambition on a mission. That's who I am. Hi, Bustle. It's Ciara here, and these are the moments that made me. In 2002, I was just a little baby. I had this big vision to be signed to this label called Arista Records. I was so nervous. I remember picking out my outfit because at that time I had no money for a stylist. I had swag though, you know. And I literally jumped on the table in my performance like the office was my stage. He walks out the door and was like, I'm gonna sign her. The rest was history. Releasing my first album, Goodies, was really special because it really was another example of like, don't stop believing in yourself. When it was time for me to release my music, Arista Records had a whole executive overhaul. I went to Jive Records, I had to re-audition again. The great thing is I had the album in my suitcase. Like basically this whole album was pretty much done. As I was mastering my album, my last songs that I recorded was 1 2 Step and Oh. They were all my biggest songs on my album, but Missy was a surprise for me on my song because at that time Jazzy knew I wanted to work with Missy. Unbeknownst to me, he reached out to Missy and said, hey, you know, would you be down to get on this new Ciara record? And she obviously said yes. And I turn on the speakers in the studio and I hear automatic, supersonic, hypnotic. But I hear that coming like, this is crazy. I had a song called Promise. That was a very significant moment for me. It was a bit of a slower tempo. I had just come off of the heels of Get Up, which was a top 10 record, and a song I did for the Step Up movie. I was feeling my inner femininity, getting a bit more confident in my sensuality. And I remember really saying that I think this song is gonna be a monstrous record. And I remember myself and Polo de Don, who produced the record, being told that it was probably one of the worst R&B records someone heard, and they did not believe in it. And that song was game-changing, and I had my first #1 album. And the fun thing is I came out that week, and it was Gwen Stefani, it was Eminem, it was a lot of big projects that week, and CC came through. So the evolution was a special moment for me. Having my first film experience was really fun, really cute, because it was a big part of one of the dreams that I had. Adrienne Bailon was also in the movie as well, and it's so cool to see how much us ladies have grown. I had no idea how to play volleyball, and I remember having to learn how to play it. I did my best. It was so fun being on the road with Brittany. She was such a huge force in music, but she was someone that I really admired at that time. And I love when you can cross over with different audiences. There was a cool opportunity to be able to, you know, connect with her fans and vice versa. So super amazing experience. Right, I have to shout out Diane Martell, who directed the video. I wanted to have the one-woman show concept, where it's not about all the bells and the whistles in the video. I'm like, I am the show. Sometimes some of the most impactful performances come from just a mic and a light. I kept it simple and clean, and it was very performance-driven from top to bottom. This was my second collaboration with Luda. Like when we put out O together, and hearing someone like Jay-Z say how his verse was like so insane at that time. It's kind of crazy to know that it's one of my most viewed videos still to date. My video actually got banned from BET then, which is crazy, because at that time period, there was way more videos of me that were turning up more. But the fans have spoken, and the song has stood the test of time. When I travel around the world, it's so cool to see people in places like France and Germany and London and places like that singing my song word for words. Yeah, one of my favorite records that I recorded. When I put out Body Party, I was super amazed to see how viral the song was. I always love seeing how people jam out to that song. And it's a super R&B record, which I love. There's nothing better than that when you have a super strong R&B core, but people sing it like it's the biggest pop song. That's the power of R&B when it's really right and good. So definitely really proud of that song. Going on my Jackie tour was really significant for me because I had just given birth to my baby boy Future. It was my first time on the road as a mama, and my album Jackie was also inspired from my mom's name, Jackie. So it was a very sentimental time for me, a very emotionally connected time for me, where I was feeling another level of empowerment as a woman, juggling everything, also a single mom at that time. But wait, I'm trying to think, because my husband came into my life. I might have actually not been a single mom when I was on the tour anymore. My husband, he keeps on talking about Cinco, as in, because we have 4 kids. So I'm like, We can get the single, but it ain't no safe. But just going on tour, feeling the love from my fans, being on stage is one of my happiest places in the world. Level Up was a big moment for me. It was my first song released from my independent label, Beauty Marks Entertainment. I always say, if I'm gonna bet on anyone, I'm gonna bet on me, especially when I invest my own money. I remember flying to New Zealand to work with Paris Goebel. It was super guerrilla because it wasn't the biggest budget scenario. I didn't have my big old production crew coming with me. That song embodied what I was doing. I wrote that song with my friend Tehran. Every line in that song mattered. Like, I was really intentional about the message that I wanted to say. Starting my independent label with Level Up, it's almost now 3 times platinum. The highest height that you can go to is within you, so it definitely was a level up, and I'm so proud. When I got the phone call from the director, Blitz, I was taken aback because the legacy of The Color Purple is so precious and it's so strong and impactful, with people like Fantasia and Taraji, Coleman, Danny Brooks. Steven Spielberg was producing it, Oprah's producing it. There was so much goodness in this film that I could not say no. That's something that I can say, like, for my babies when they're able to watch it. Mama's really proud of that. Being on the road with my sister Missy was pretty epic, and it was everything that I hoped it would be and then some. I was actually preparing to do my own tour, but she called me and I was like, all right, we're gonna change the plans, abort mission, and I'm gonna join my girl. And then it was a cherry on top to also have Busta Rhymes and Timbaland. It was like watching an award show every night. I remember running into Megan at the Vanity Fair party, and she was like, girl, we gotta do something with goodies, blah, blah, blah. Like, when she sent over the record to me, I definitely was like, you know what? She can definitely use my sample. It makes me feel good when you have artists of this generation loving your music and appreciating your music. Really inspires me, I think, more than they even know. She's also another artist that has her own label. When you have the courage to do this and to take on everything, take on the world, to be confident and fearless in that vision and to go after it is pretty amazing. So I think she's doing a great job, and I love that she used my sample goodies. We always talk about in our house how there's life and death in the tongue, so when you speak, say great things. And I'm a believer in the power of manifestation. I think that the future is incredibly bright, and I'm a big believer in saying, why not you?